In the field of luxury mansion maintenance, the name Sami al-Haddad was known throughout the entire city. He owned a large maintenance crew, cleaning, repairs, garden trimming, full restorations. His schedule was booked weeks in advance, which meant accepting an urgent job was almost impossible. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, his phone rang. An unknown number. A cold voice said, "I want you and your team at my mansion this morning." Sami refused immediately. His schedule was full. But the man insisted. He doubled the payment, then doubled it again until the amount became unbelievable. Then he sent the location and hung up. After a long silence, Sami agreed. At sunrise, Sami and his crew departed. Alongside him were Yusuf, Karim, Adel, and the rest of the maintenance team. But the moment they arrived, silence filled their vehicle. The mansion before them was unlike anything they had ever seen. It was enormous, surrounded by gardens stretching like a private forest, with dense trees blocking much of the sunlight. Despite years of professional experience working in luxury estates, Sami had never witnessed a place this extravagant. They were welcomed by the mansion staff, whose behavior immediately felt strange. Their faces were pale, their smiles motionless, and their eyes followed the workers without blinking. One servant offered them a dark red drink. Yusuf noticed something unsettling. The waiter's eyes were almost completely black. He assumed it was simply exhaustion or poor lighting. As hours passed, however, everyone began noticing similar details. Unnaturally long fingers, colorless skin, a heavy silence spreading through the entire property. Still, the team continued working. The payment was too significant to ignore. As evening approached, a woman appeared, walking toward them through the garden. She wore a shining red dress that flowed behind her. She was beautiful, yet deeply unsettling. Her skin was unnaturally pale, her fingers long and thin, and her eyes glowed faintly red like burning embers. When she smiled, short, sharp fangs became visible. In a calm voice, she invited them to dinner, calling them honored guests. Fear quietly spread among the workers, but Sami whispered to his team to remain calm and avoid showing fear until they could leave safely. Inside the mansion, an unusually long dining table stretched across the hall. 12 members of the family sat around it, all smiling and silently watching the workers. Slowly, dinner began. Despite their growing fear, Sami and his team actually ate the food served to them. The meal was luxurious, yet carried a strange taste none of them could later describe. What disturbed them most was that the family barely touched their own food. They simply watched the workers eat. At exactly midnight, the clock echoed through the mansion. Every member of the family stood at the same moment and walked toward a large door. Then, before the workers' eyes, the first figure vanished into the air. Then another, and another. One by one, each member disappeared until the hall became completely empty. Sami wasted no time. He ordered everyone to gather their equipment and leave immediately. As they drove away from the property, a police officer stopped them on the road and asked what they had been doing there. Sami explained they had just completed maintenance work at the mansion behind them. The officer stared in confusion before telling them that the mansion had been abandoned for more than 10 years.
The billionaire owner, along with his entire family, had died in a single night long ago. Sammy slowly turned toward the back seat of the vehicle. The payment bag was still there, $500,000, paid to them by a mansion where no one had lived for a decade.
After that night, Sami al-Haddad permanently retired from his profession. The team eventually separated, and none of them ever spoke again about what happened inside that mansion. Yet one thought continued to haunt them forever. They were not merely witnesses. They had sat, eaten dinner, and shared a table with a family that had been dead for 10 years.